Hi pilots and welcome back to another episode of Flight Academy brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil and this is game 16 of our round robin. We are well into the second half. Players are starting to establish their place in the pecking order and looking to seal his place in the top four. We actually have one of the players on screen right now. We are joined by...
Hi guys, it's Ben.
Hi Ben, welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you flying on the channel and also commentating with us. You always bring some really good insights, and I will quickly do a shout out to those amazingly painted ships you've got there. The Fake Taxi, E-Wing and A-Wing, which I know that Andy painted for you, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, anyone that's been watching Flight Academy last season, you may recognize one of the ships, the E-Wing. I believe Andy used last time. Painted up really nicely. I decided to use an E-Wing in this list along with an A-Wing, and I asked Andy if he would kindly paint a matching A-Wing, and he did, and it looks really good. And he's got you can't really see them on here, but he's got taxi decals on the side as well.
Yeah, so they look like New York taxis. If you actually check out our Instagram, we have some better pictures of those on there. And he used the E-Wing in the Aces High we did to finish off last season of Flight Academy. But again, really cool to see those ships on the board. But as I said, we do have a game in front of us. It is yourself versus Scott. 2 I5s versus 2 I6s. Curious to see if the initiative will have a huge impact here or if it will come down to the maneuverability of your ships. So
yeah, Scott's got a very interesting list. Yeah, it's quite nice to see a shuttle on board.
Yeah, I mean, the
rarely see the
is
shuttle.
yeah, it's a really cool ship that we, as you said, we don't see very often, especially not Fen Rao. I mean, he's quite expensive for
He went up
a
2
support ship.
points.
Yeah, but his ability is actually really cool. Of okay, I'm just going to take a stress and you can't use tokens. I mean, that's actually really powerful. And an interesting choice to put Seasoned Navigator on there as well. Being I6 with Seasoned Navigator and R4 Aspirate, meaning he can basically go, actually, that was a bad move. Let me change that. Is interesting, and I can see why Seasoned Navigator is obviously on the extended list, so you won't see that normally. And it is also 7 points, so it's a lot there. But
could also probably help him get him in arc, because I'd imagine his ability, he needs to be in arc.
Yeah, so it has to be within the firing arc, so either forward or back. When the opponent engages, Ben can take a stress to basically go, nope, tokens don't exist for you. Which, to clarify, that's tokens on the board, so your focuses, your target locks. You can use charges like the Force and any other crazy charges you have. I'm thinking like Wolf's ability to re-roll there, so they can be used, but you can't use your focus tokens and target locks, which for your ships can be really important because you kind of live and die on those re-rolls and that modification ability, because you want to be hitting as hard as possible, as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, one of my big things in my list is the initial engagement firing a proton torpedo double modded, because you get the early target lock and then you just focus.
Yeah,
and Fen can essentially shut that down and limit you just to the normal single modification.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big decision early on for you there, from that shot from Hera into Corran. Do you spend that focus to not be half pointed, and yes, you do.
Yeah.
Not quite half pointed, but 2 shields down. This early in
Well,
the game, you don't want to lose 2 shields.
yeah, it's my most expensive ship. So half points, it's 3 points given up there. So
Yeah,
gotta keep it healthy.
and that's a hard thing to come back from sometimes. Even just half points on Core and Horn, because half points on Core and Horn is more than half points on any other ship, really. Because Hera and Fen, if they're half pointed, they're only 2 points.
Yeah, that's
Tycho's
the
only
destroyer
2
ship.
points. Yeah, so
Mhm.
it kind of puts you on the back foot a little bit. And looking at all the lists we had, most of them were 5-5, but we had a couple of 6-4s, and you could tell as soon as the 6 went down or went to half points, it became so much harder for that player. They had to then get a lot more aggressive.
I think we're just going back a step. I think I didn't roll enough evade dice, so that's why we reversed back. But I think the outcomes still remain the same.
Yes, the outcome did still remain the same, which is not too bad. But here we go with Corin. That's a proton torpedo.
Would have loved to have had that focus.
That focus would have been lovely, but you've got Predator and you've got Fire Control, so you do get 2 rerolls. And more importantly, Fenral's not close enough to say no thank you.
Yeah, I really don't want to be spending the target lock. I want because Corin's the E-wing is quite tricky, and you can't acquire locks at range 1. So once you've got your lock on, you really just want to try and keep it on.
Absolutely. I mean, luckily you've got the R3 Astromech there to get a lock on both ships, which is such a good idea in a 2-ship meta like this. To be able to lock both ships, that way you're not almost playing your hand as to who you're going for. It gives you that option. And if you don't happen to have a gun pointed at the ship you got locked, well, it's okay, because the other ship's got a lock anyway. But it looks like we're going to have a bit of a rumble in the middle of the board there.
Yeah, it's looking like this could be a nice lineup for proton rocket. Something that I've struggled to get off with Tycho, being able to only single reposition instead of double reposition makes it quite tricky to actually line up the bullseyes on the A-wing.
Yeah, it's something that Andy found when he was using Soon to Fell, and I've also found when using Soon to Fell, these standard loadout ships from Battle Over Endor, if they have a standardized sort of like config card like vector thrusters or sensitive controls, they have that all baked in, so you lose that double reposition, which is incredibly powerful. But it looks like Scott has just gone, I will make it as easy as possible for you to get that proton rocket bullseye, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to avoid the range 1
double tap
from Corin, which is probably the wise choice. That's probably nastier than a single proton rocket.
The problem is, I think he's put himself in a really nice position to be hit from both of your ships, and I'm curious. I don't think he's got himself out of range 1 of Corin, but if he, I mean, ideally you want that to be range 2, so you can proton rocket and proton torpedo.
So,
unfortunate roll.
Is Fen Rao's ability at the start of the engagement phase or when the ship attacks?
So it's when a ship attacks. So when a ship engages.
Okay, it's just interesting to see if Scott uses trigger to stop me using the focus token when I fire the rocket.
Yeah,
because that would be really strong.
That would be incredibly powerful, especially because you don't. It would shut down target locks as well, but you also don't have a target lock there, so that could be really powerful. Oh, nice 2 dice is there. Oh,
Ooh,
double checking if you've got It's a Trap active.
yeah. There's quite a nice little upgrade. I mean, you kind of have to fly together, but
Yeah,
anytime
and
you
for
get a
those of you,
reroll,
those of you that aren't familiar, while defending, if there are more other friendly ships than enemy ships at range 0 to 1, you may reroll one of your blank results, and that's the Rebels It's a Trap from Battle Over Endor.
right? So here we go. I think, yeah, Scott's doing an ability spot on. 100%, 100% Scott do. So I literally have to roll without any modifications here.
Yeah.
5 dice.
You want the good paint.
I need one more dice.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Oh no.
Who needs mods? Who
Oh dear.
needs mods? That.
I mean that makes up for my history of bad green dice.
Yeah, we did see some bad green dice recently.
Oh, that
is.
feel a bit bad for Scott when you just roll like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's still got Corran's.
Yeah.
Shot.
And I think that's a damage sensor array he's got there as well. That is. It's the downside of having single evade ships in this sort of situation.
You know, I think I could roll. I think I could roll those 5 dice 10 times over and probably still not get that result again.
Absolutely, but here you've got a double modded shot from Corran, which, I mean, may as well use fire
control. Oh, yeah, I think you got to spend the focus.
You don't need to spend the focus. One of 8
Oh, right, yeah. Hera's down.
Oh, you have spent the focus, but that's fine. Unfortunately, Scott, you can't knock the dice over and change the results of that. He's going to be Hera down, which is tough for Scott. Hera is the knife, or as we should say, the blade in this list. Fen is all about support. He can do some damage, but Hera's really the blade that he wants left, and having Fen on his own is going to be really tricky.
That's tough. I mean, he's a nice 6, he's moving last, but there's such limited options of where he's going to go. Unfortunately, he can't do his lovely reverse turn.
No, because he's stressed, and also Tycho going there is. Oh, okay.
So
Tycho's got too bad in Corran's way.
Tycho's rotated his vector cannons to the rear.
Yes. So I anticipate a short move from Corran. See if you can pincer Ben, possibly with a bump.
I really like vector cannons. I think this is the first time I've actually flown using vector cannons config, and I really like it.
I mean, it gives you that sort of RZ2 A-wing feel to it. Again, not having the double reposition is a trade-off, but you know what? Being able to actually turn that to the rear and shoot out the back is not a bad trade-off, to be honest. It actually allows you to be a bit more viable. And with the A-Wings dial as well, that is one of the most ridiculous dials in the game. It's got more blues than any other color on it. So if you do get stressed, as you are now, you'll clear that so easily and then still be in the fight. Now, where does Fen go? Great bumping, which puts him in Corran's arc and keeps him in Tycho's as well. He's taking the red stress.
Yeah, he can shoot out the back.
Even though we spoke about it not 2 minutes ago, I completely forgot again that the shooter speed has the
rear arc. Yeah.
which is it's cool. I like the fact that it's got a rear up. It makes that ship just so unassuming, but a lot more powerful.
Spend the evade, so turns off Duke.
And just to... Good job you saved that focus. Good job you saved that focus from earlier. That's actually come in quite handy there. And yeah, unfortunately, the range 0 shot from Corrin, no way of modding that. But that one goes through. So, shield down on Fenral. Hera is down. You have lost 1 shield so far. It's looking good for you. But whilst you're repositioning Tycho there to bring him around the corner, just want to remind you guys, if you do enjoy what we're doing here at Out of Light Gaming, you can support us on Patreon with the link in the description below. Joining our Patreon is a great way of supporting the channel, allows us to keep bringing the content to you. So if you do like what we're doing, want to support us, that link's in the description below. That disarm from a reload there.
Yeah, so reloading a proton rocket, because when one's not enough.
Yeah.
Although I don't imagine ever firing it off again.
I think in a larger game, you're more likely to have the opportunity to shoot it twice. This sort of game, where there's 2 ships, maybe if you were coming up against a medium-based ship as well, and you didn't get it the first time, you might be able to pull it off twice, but... Plus, with a 25-minute time limit...
You can shoot the proton rockets while disarmed as well.
That's Tycho's ability, isn't it? Or is that the ship?
Yeah, but you shoot with 1 less.
Right.
So only 4 instead of 5. But it's got it's quite an interesting linked mechanic. So you can focus into a reload, or the other way around. I can't remember which one. Which is quite interesting because that gives you the focus. Then all of a sudden you reload your proton rocket, and then you're good to go to fire it. A bit.
You know what? That's actually really, and I suppose it's there going. You can only roll 4 dice.
Oh, it's still 4 dice.
Red dice. I mean, that's still
a proton.
Yeah, it's better than the 2 red dice you'd normally roll with an A-wing that isn't at range 1. So, oh, that's a solid shot there from Corrin. That's not going to be. It's not going to be fun for them. Oh, hit double crit going through. So let's see what it is. Structural damage. Oh no, loose stabilizer, sorry, and a fuel leak. Oh, good job that fuel leak came out second.
I think the bullseye is on for a double tap.
Yeah. Oh, and that's lights out Fenral there. That double tap right at the end to finish it off was the perfect timing for that. And an example of how scary Corrin Horn could be, and quite possibly why he is 6 points, because double tapping is, yes, you're disarmed for the next turn, but if you take your opponent out, it doesn't matter if you're disarmed because you're already done. So good work there, Ben. Very well played. Was a little bit worried with that early attack, having to spend the focus, but in the long run, not a problem really there for you, so well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a good game. Bit unfortunate that I got those really strong dice. Once the B-wing went down, there wasn't really a lot that Fen could do, unfortunately.
Yeah, Fen on his own, he is a support ship. Like, he did his best, and you know what? He stuck around longer than you'd expect when coming up against 2 aces like that. But yeah, well done to you, and well flown there, Scott. Unfortunate that Hera went down so early. But let's have a look. Obviously, we're at the end of another bracket of 4 games, so let's have a look and see how that is affecting the table. So, with an almost perfect record at the top, we have Ned with 19 points, just 1 kill shy of a perfect score. I'm currently sat in second with 17 points, 4 wins and 5 kills. We've got Wes in third with 15 points. That win there actually puts you up to 12 points, Ben, so still in the top 4. We have Scott and Andy both on 5, Benji on 2, and Josh on 1 point. But as I said, there's still 12 games left to play. That table can change quite drastically. But Ben, thank you so much for joining us for that game. I hope you enjoyed watching that one back.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. It's always good to be on the channel.
Anytime, buddy, anytime. And as always, guys, if you do like what we're doing, please don't forget to smash the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.